Okay, welcome back to another daily link building tips video. It's going to be a pretty chill one today. Um, it's just this one slide, and I'm just going to talk about where I personally think Google's going to be going with their algorithm, their search algorithm, in the next sort of year to 3 years. Okay, so got my second cup of coffee in. It's a nice chill video, and all we're going to talk about is Google's algorithm, where it's likely to go, and honestly, what that means for us. Okay. Now, all I would say is if you don't do SEO, but you've watched these videos, maybe you've taken the HQ SEO local training course, or you've worked with us in the past, chances are the day-to-day promotions or the day-to-day way you do SEO won't actually change. Now, that's because Google already owns, I think in the UK, a ridiculous market share of 80-90%. In the US, it's a little bit less. And they're not going to change their algorithm to a point where it affects search rankings in a way that could potentially lose them some market share. Now, remember why Google is where it is now, and that is because they have a improved algorithm that calculates search results, right? Bing and Yahoo, if that's even still going, still sort of lag behind in quantifying how powerful a website is. That's what it all comes down to. Um, I will make a few sort of points and notes. The first one is that Google will never use Facebook's data. Okay. Now we talk about social shares when we talk about Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Tumblr, that sort of thing. Unless Google buys something like Tumblr and starts integrating that data, they're going to take on any relevance for social shares. And honestly, it's due to them not being able to control it. So Google wants to make sure they control everything inside the algorithm. Now, obviously, it's still an algorithm, so it can make mistakes and it can be gamed once you know what it is, because you know which parts to input, which bits to avoid, etc., etc. That's essentially what SEO is in a nutshell. But my first sort of point is Google will not be having any independence on things like Facebook, on things like Twitter, Tumblr, etc. They just aren't going to, right? That's not to say that social is an ranking factor, though, because if you see an article about a certain business, Google and type in that business name, and then you visit the site, brand search, resulting in a click. Really powerful metric that shows that the brand is becoming an authority because people are starting to search for the brand name itself. If you think about how many searches, maybe the clothing website gets, it's going to be thousands, right? Even though they sort of haven't made any official, probably SEO effort into ranking their brand, it ranks naturally. And as a result, people type it in when they sort of want to go straight to the site and they don't type in ASOS.com or whatever, because a lot of people do that. People even search Facebook inside Google. Facebook gets searched 100,000 times a month, probably a million. Um, just because people don't type in facebook.com instead of Facebook. It's a bit strange, but it's a powerful ranking technique. The second one is that links are going to change. So the way links are valued is going to change in 2018. It might take longer. Honestly, it might go on to 2020, even longer. But with the introduction of AI and how Google's getting smarter, how Google wants to evolve in the future, um, essentially what their goal is to, of course, have the algorithm only and not employ thousands of staff that need to keep an eye on the algorithm and hand out manual penalties and all of this. If they can automate that, then they're going to save millions and millions and millions. And as a result, they're going to increase profitability. So that's why they're investing essentially hundreds of millions into getting this AI right from the start. That's why you see Google and Apple and Microsoft buying companies for 300, 400 million that are in the AI industry. Because the AI race is the new sort of space race of 2000 and whatever it will be. So that's pretty key. But links themselves, I believe, are going to be valued on traffic. Google's getting more and more data in terms of people using Chrome, people using, well, analytics is one thing, that's a different discussion. But the more people that use Chrome, the more data Google has, right? Now, if they know, or if they start getting towards essentially owning the internet, then chances are they're going to improve the algorithm with that information. They're going to put that data from Chrome into the algorithm saying people bounced from this site. They just shut it straight away, right? They didn't bounce back to the search engine. If that's in Chrome, they can see sort of all of these metrics. So they know that if a website's spammy straight away, just from the amount of time spent on the site. And I think those parts are going to increase too. So my third sort of point would be bounce rate and user metrics, user experience is going to increase the value added in the algorithm. So we'll start to get away a little bit from specific keywords and where your keywords are in your, title, H1, URL, content, images, etc. And you get more towards user metrics. So if I mention the keyword once in the content, but people are staying on that site for 10, 20 minutes, then that means that site is really valuable to them. And as a result, Google will increase the rankings of that site. That's what I believe anyway. And then going back to point 2, I think Google's AI will get towards ranking sites with essentially that generate clicks and traffic rather than links being powerful themselves. So if there's a brand new site that gets, excuse me, maybe 20, 30 clicks a month through one specific link, then that link is going to be extremely valuable. And as a result, I think Google will get towards ranking that. The only issue with this is things like doorway pages. So where there's one link on a page that says, we have moved to this site, click here. That would be the only issue, I believe. But then, to be honest, you lose the emphasis for a 301 redirect if you own that website anyway. So, it's quite difficult to spam with traffic, especially when you think about how much Google knows from, their primary source of income, which is, of course, AdWords. They know links, they know click spam very, very well. So they're not going to be able to, or they're going to be able to distinguish between those two things. Okay, so that's it for this video. Just thought I'd have a little bit of a casual ideas one about where Google is going. Not directly related to link building, but a nice little rant. And have a good one.